everybody, welcome back to my channel. We are working on an album. It's a folio, a large folio, using Graphic45 Kaleidoscope. This is my design team project for Country Craft Creations. And we just have a few little mats left to do and then some embellishing. So I've already picked out what I'm going to use. And I've got them kind of tucked in. So I'm going to start, these I've already cut, so they're about ready. I'm going to just tuck that in there, and then I've got that one there. So I'm going to cut these, and this one here, I have very few pieces left. And this piece is actually going to be a little narrower than it should be, but we're going to make it work. You know, I just realized the whole time I was cutting that was probably off screen. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can slide it in and I'll explain what I did after I get it down. Okay. All right, so what I did, hopefully you can see. Let me just grab another scrap of some kind. Now, let's say this was the piece. I laid it on here and left myself the amount of clearance I wanted on either side. And then I just took my ruler and eyeballed a similar clearance on the diagonal and drew a line. Okay, and then this was the area I was saying where it's too narrow. I purposely put it more to this side, and I'll put a sticker or another contrasting paper or something there to make it look purposeful. So I'll get this out of the way. And then I'm going to use this piece here. All right. So for this, kind of going to do, let's see. Because I don't have a piece that I can put in this way and have it be enough. Actually, this one going, which one is going there? Hang on. I feel like I'm missing one. I can only, let's see, I picked out this for here, but I don't know what I was going to put there. Let me see. It might have been the orange. I think it was the orange. But we'll see. Right? Possibly. Well, we'll see. We're going to do this one first anyway. So, I'm going to do something similar with this one, an eyeball. Whoops, I don't think that drew very well. Cut that one. Let's see. Then I'm just gonna draw across the bottom. So that's going to go there, like that. sure there's probably a great way to measure all this, but I just find this to be the easiest way. That piece is going in there. Well, that's not as straight as it might be, but it's okay. It'll be fine, especially when you consider there'll be things in there. And then this piece here, did I already glue this one down? I already glued that one down, so I must have done that last time. So let's go ahead and do this one. Of course, when you do this, you'll have it more right in front of you, so you can get it a little straighter than I did. Okay, there's that. And so we didn't pull anything shut. Okay, that's good. Then we need something for here. And I thought I had picked something out, but I guess I haven't. And I still have the orange, which I quite like, actually. I mean, if you're gonna go bold, right? Let's do the orange. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same thing I just did. Got it laid out right there. There's that. Okay, so that's going to go there. We still have to round that corner. Remember, only about 3/4 of an inch of that is going to show, give or take. Okay, now we're going to come up here. And we need to draw a line across. And then a line up. Okay. Okay. And that piece there we go. It's going to go there. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that quite a bit. Okay. Okay. Shoot. Okay, got glue everywhere trying to do that. This is definitely one of those situations where I could glue the pocket shut with all that extra glue. Okay. Okay, so now we have this done. All right, let's move to the other end and do this end. And just kind of deciding on the fly which ones of these I want to darken the edges and which I don't. Strictly personal preference. See, I've got little scraps everywhere. Oh, you know, I did not. Well, those I can't give you a measurement on because I eyeballed them, but these I can. So this one is, looks like just shy 5 1/4. I might have used a scrap by 3. So say 5 1/4 by 3. This one is again just shy of 5 1/4, so it looks like I purposely cut these at 5 3/16 by 3 1/2. There we go. Right, and then this one again is going to be just shy of 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. Just have the courage of your convictions when you're using a paper like this. As you all know, I do a lot of sort of subtle colored things, so I'm really having a good time with this really bright album. Go. Just realized there was text there. If you use this paper, be careful, there's text. I worked out and it's right side up, but I could easily have put that on upside down. Okay, there's that. Now let's turn it over. We already did this one. And I think I'm gonna do like some white mats and things in some of these. And I've got 2 pockets here, and I've only cut one of the 2 mats, which I'm gonna put down, and then we'll figure out the other one. Okay, this one is 2 7/8, and again 5 1/4. To decide what we're going to do with this one other pocket that I haven't cut yet. And then we have that too. Alright, so this one's going to go here. I might as well put it in. Did I get it already? I didn't. That was my cats. Getting into a little game. There we go. And then we need a piece of this, which is going to be 6 inches by however wide these were, 5 1/4. that looks good. And I'm not going to ink this. I don't want to darken the edges. And this does not have a white core, so it's not a problem. There we go. Okay, there's that. And then I will use, let's see, let's open these up. Let's start with 5 3/4 by however long that piece is. Okay, it's just barely going to be long enough. It'll work. And actually, I could put it down a little if I need to. I don't think I do, but I could. And then just put something up there. That's going to work. Okay, so it's going to go there. That's fine. So this piece is going to be the same size, right? 5 3/4. Yep, by 8. Yep, that looks good. Okay, let's put these in. Now we still have these belly bands that we need to do. Yep, that's going to be fine. Now, I think I'm trying. So we have the inside of this to do. The insides of these two flaps and the belly bands. All right, so let's take a break. I'm gonna go pick out some more mats and get them cut, and then I'll be back and show you what we're gonna do with those. Get that tied for the moment. This is looking very good. You know, if we have enough scraps, we definitely should cut a couple of little narrow pieces for there as well. So since the last time, I put a few mats down. You can see I did the 2 spines. Hope you can see that. It's so big, I don't know what you can see. And there's the other spine, and of course I had already done the striped fabric on the back, striped paper, excuse me. So let me give you measurements for those, the spine pieces. They are 1 inch wide by, I think, 9 3/4. Yes, 9 3/4. So you need 2 of those, 1 for each spine. And then, let me, as you know, I've been using this little towel to cushion the cover when I open it because I don't want the flowers to get crushed, although they should be all right. But, all right, so I just tucked a few of the cut aparts in some of the drawers, in some of the flaps. And I've got a couple here. Oops. Now, I wanted to show you, let's see, I don't know if you'd seen, I don't know if you even can see, I put the little hoof print here on the inside of this. And again, I've just got a few, sorry, that's my printer, every now and then it goes off. I've just tucked this here. I haven't made any of the inserts yet, I've just got some of the cut aparts. And you can see I added this little sticker here that says anything is possible. And then let me show you what I've got in here. All right, so I matted these 2 belly bands. And again, I'm just gonna have to slide it because I don't think you can see the whole thing. So I've got the purple there, the purple print, and then on this side I have the blue. And then I put these chipboards at the top of the belly bands. I hope you can see. But what I didn't do, and what you should do, is I completely forgot, because I was going to raise them up above the belly bands, and I did raise them up above the belly bands. I didn't think about the fact that when you open the belly band, you'd be able to see the back, so I had to sort of cobble together. Let's see. I'm trying to find a way to show it to you. Hang on. Try to move this in such a way that it's under the camera. Okay, how's that? All right, so here you can see the back of the chipboard. And what I should have done is covered the back of the chipboard with some paper before I glued it down, but I didn't. So I ended up just having to tuck a scrap there to try and hide it a little bit. So that's there. Oh, and then on the inside, as you can see, I just grabbed whatever scraps I had left. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. And here's the other one. I don't know if you can see. So here, what I used were cut-aparts. And if you remember, this just pops off. And then I just used the cut-apart sheet, put one on each. And then I had to use a double one here because I didn't have any more of the single ones. And then that just pops on there. And I'm pretty sure that is all that I did while you were not watching. And so let me set this aside. And now I've got quite a bit of bulk here, so get that. I want to show you, we need to make just some tags and things just to tuck into all these pockets that we made, at least for now. So I'm going to set the book itself aside. All right, and let's see. I'm trying to find a spot for it. Back here. I want you to see what I have left to work with. All right, so I have this sheet, and I had the whole sheet, and what I did is I cut part of it up into cut-aparts, but I left the other part because I only use this pattern in one place in the whole book, so I may use it on some tags and things just to try to balance that out. So I have this. And then I have these cut-aparts. And these were like this, and I just folded them to make a couple of little booklets. And a couple of other of those. And then I've got these are some of the black and white ones that I cut apart. Okay, so I have these cut aparts to work with. Set those aside. And I have this little amount of black left. I've got more on order, but that's all I have right now. And I have these of the turquoise and the purple left. There's pink also that Tamara sent me, and it goes nicely, but I just never used it in the book, so I won't use it in the tags either. But that's all I have of that left. And of the pattern paper, I divided it into two little piles. These are stripes and strips that I can use as borders on tags, so I have those. And then I have, this is literally all I've got left of the paper. I used practically every bit of it, and I've ordered some extra sheets. And I could probably get by without the extra sheets, but I'm just going to be more comfortable with my choices making tags and things if I have those sheets to work with. So if I were you and you're buying this collection to make this book, either get the Patterns and Solids collection, which is always nice to have, or if you don't want to do that, then get some of extra of this or some extra pattern sheets. And this color is called Poolside. This is from the Colors collection of cardstock. And this one is called Deep Purple. So those are the two colors that I used. And all of that's from Country Craft Creations, of course. And then I have some more stickers and chipboard. All right, so that's kind of where we're at. And I can go ahead and make a few tags, and then I can make some more later on when I get some more of the pattern paper, if I need them. I may not. I mean, there's a lot going on in this album. It doesn't really need a whole lot more. Like, I have this nice big piece for a tag, and I have this nice one, and then I have some narrow ones. Oh, let's see, I've got that. And of course we've got these cut aparts, and there were a few that I particularly liked. I like this big one here, and there was a little square one that I liked a lot. How do I do it down here? This one, I like this one a lot. This one's nice too, those little square ones. Both of these are nice. And then this is the same one. So, and then I've got these little colored ones too. So let's start with, just wondering if we could maybe do that back. No, let's make two out of these, two little ones. And so let's see what would work best. I have this piece of black, but do we want to use black? Or do I want to put them on something brighter like this blue? Just wonder if the blue is too much. Let me see. I'm just reaching over here. Because I have this piece of white paper. Do I want to put them on white? That might be pretty, although I haven't really used any white yet. But I was thinking of white as the color for the photo mats. Or double mat them with white and black. That's pretty. Can you see that? Okay, let me go grab some white cardstock. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so this is 3 by 3 1/4. So I need 3 1/4 by 3 1/2 for the first mat. Cut two so we could do both of them. So if we do that and then we do that on that, I think that looks really nice. And all right, so if this is 3 1/2 tall, and how big is this? That's 4. This is 3 1/4. And this should be 3 3/4 wide. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to give you all these measurements. Okay, so to make these tags, you've got your cut apart, and then you want to cut the inner mat 3 1/4 by 3 1/2, and you want to cut the outer mat 3 3/4 by 4. All right, and I have 2 of these. Okay, got these where you can see them. I'm going to move a few things out of the way. And grab my glue. I'm wondering if I should round these. I don't really want to round that though. So no, I'm just going to leave them square. And then we're just going to eyeball that to the center. And let's do this one. There's so much color in this book that I kind of feel like these inserts might be better to be mostly in more subdued stuff, but maybe not. I mean, there's nothing really very subdued at all about this album, or folio, I should say. Go. Go. And then these get glued here. Now I did leave myself quite a bit. Yeah, I've got a full 1/4 inch all the way around, and I'm wondering maybe I should round those corners. I think I will. I like the clean look of them square, but square corners have a habit of getting a little dog-eared after a while. Yep, I like that. Those are nice. All right, just took a couple of minutes, and now we have a couple of nice inserts. And we could, I don't have enough black to do this one the same way. So I'm kind of tempted to just wait on this one until I get a bigger piece of black. Although this piece, is that big enough? No, this is not big enough. Okay. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. And let's see. Got this little guy. This one I folded. Got several of the smaller black ones. Got this bright one. So let's see what we could do with that. Do this one on the blue, or do have some black. It's kind of a big piece for that. That one's too small. We could do the same with this, with a white, and grab some white. That's kind of nice. So same idea. Okay. Let's see. All right. So this is 4 by 3. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. This should have been 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, but it's a little shy of that because I didn't have enough. But that'll be fine. And then, so this is going to go here, and that's going to go just like the other ones. So I might as well go ahead and round these corners. Oh no, you know what? I think I'll wait. No, I'll do it now. Sorry, dithering a little bit, per usual. I like the idea of these white double mats because that way, if I do end up using white for the photo mats, which I think I probably will, then that'll reflect that. It'll be another space with the white. So it's not just like white photo mats and thinking, well, where the heck did the white come from? There's no other white in this book. So this way you have some other white in there. Okay, so now we have these three. This takes a couple of minutes and you end up with something pretty. And then, let's see. One thing that I'm kind of waiting on for when I get the my black cardstock is I do want to make a few, whoops, I just got glue on that, taller things because I have those tall pockets that we made. So I'm gonna kind of wait on those a little bit. You know what? I think I'm gonna pause this video now and I'm gonna resume after I get my order, because right now I feel like I have a lot of things I want to do, but I just don't have the supplies I need. And since I ordered from Country Craft Creations, I know I'm going to have them very, very quickly. So I'm going to pause now and I will be back in a day or two for me, but just a few seconds for you, and we're going to continue with making inserts for this book. Okay, so I'll be right back. We are resuming work and finishing our Graphic45 Kaleidoscope large folio. We're almost done. As you know, I had to stop a little bit before the end because I had run out of black cardstock and a few other things that I wanted to use to make inserts and things with, and embellishments. So let's just start at the front and work our way through. The front is basically done unless we decide to gild the lily even more. And let me grab, you may recall, due to the nature of these flowers, that I have this towel that I've been using to sort of support the front cover. And one of the things that I purchased that has come in are the, what do they call these? Journaling and ephemera cards. I love having these when they're available because they're just sort of an easy, instant embellishment. And you can also, I'll set aside the small ones. They may be too small for this album. You can also mat these or do whatever you like with them. So let's set aside the little ones for use later. And we'll see, we may still use them. Let's see what we've got. See, I love the backs on these because I have the cut aparts, but like these are awesome to just sort of lighten things up a little bit. Oh, that's great. That one could go there. And again, we could tuck one here because these are pretty dark. So maybe put one in the middle. And we need to make something, I don't know if you can see that. We need to make something fairly large for over here. And I think that looks, we need something for this back pocket too, something big for that. And let's see, we have, this is the exact same one. So let's put the back there with the elephant sticking up. Maybe tuck that there. And we'll do some, maybe some things on our black cardstock that I just got as well. And let's see, now this, let's open this up. Pull these out and tuck those in for temporarily because this lifts up. And I have these cards in here, they sort of hold that down. So you could also have, could do something like that in there, then close it, and then put the two little ones in the front, like that. Okay, and then we could do the same. Let's see, what do we have inside? Yeah, we don't really have need for them inside, so let's just use them here. And see, since I have that right there, put the back here, and maybe put that behind it. and then tuck these here, like that. And these are great. Let's see what we can find for these horizontal ones. I don't know if I have any horizontal spaces that are big enough. I do have this back. Okay, so let's, we don't really need to do much there unless we do an embellishment of some kind. So let's close here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's, and that looks good there. And do we want to put something here? I don't want to overdo it. Let's wait and see. Okay, let's put these back. All right, so we need 2 or 3 large things to go here and here in these pockets. And let me just show you some of the things I have. I don't have any flowers out yet. You remember these, we used them on the cover. I have some scraps of paper still over here, and some chipboards, I think, and stickers that we haven't used yet. We have those little things. I got these today. These are liquid pearls. I thought the gold especially might go well with this album. And of course you've seen the cards we just used. And I got some more of the turquoise paper. And I got 2 different shades because I wasn't sure which shade I had. So I bought 2. Let me see what these are. Okay, let's see. This is Atlantic Shore, and this is not actually the color that I had, but we could probably use it. This one is Poolside, and that's the color. And then I just got a few more sheets. Not too many, just a few sheets of pattern paper, so that I had more to work with in making cards, making tags and things. So we have that, and of course some black cardstock. So what I'm thinking to go in here and in here are a couple of large like folios, right? So let's measure and see what size they should be. Looks like 9 by 7 would be a good size, right? Okay, so in order to, I could, if I did them 9 by 6, if I do them 9 by 6, I can just use a single sheet of paper to make them. So they're going to be 9 by 6. Grab 2 sheets. And I'm going to cut both of these to 9 inches tall and the full width, 12 inches. Okay. And then I'm going to score them both. You know what, let me get the book out of the way. Hang on. And there is a magnet here, but I've got so many things now in all these pockets that it doesn't stick very well anymore, but it's fine. Okay, so let's get the book somewhere. I don't know where. Okay, let's just put it over here. And let's use our big scoreboard. And let's cut score these at 6 inches. Okay. I'll do these both the same. We may make more than just the 2, but we'll start with 2. Fold these in half. Just go ahead and make sure they're lining up well, because sometimes you don't necessarily score or cut perfectly straight. going to do, we're going to decorate the outsides of these with some pattern paper, and then we'll put some white photo mats inside if we want. Okay. All right. Let's see. Some measuring here. So these are 6. Right? So I'm thinking I'm trying to slide on photo mats. 3x5 is a standard size photo. One of the, there's many standard sizes, but that's one of them. So I think if I do 3.5 by 5.5 pieces of white, I've cut some 3x5 photo mats. Let's see. Try to see how many we can fit. I think we're going to have to go this way with them. So let's do that with a piece in the middle. See, I can't go vertical, or we could just go one vertical and just have 3. Or I could cut this one smaller. They don't all have to be large. Okay, suppose, okay, I'm just trying to plan a layout here. Okay, so suppose we did this with something decorative in the middle. And then, thinking maybe some small ones. Maybe some small square ones, like for Instagram pictures that you've printed. Yes, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut 3 of these down to 3.5 inches square. Then, and then overlap them like this. And have 2 here. And then we won't fully glue these down, so you could tuck a photo in them. How's that? I think that's good. Okay. And I think that rather than trying to fit pieces of decorative paper between these, I'm just going to cover the whole inside and then lay these on top. Okay, so I need 2. I'm going to do the same in both, so I need 2 full size, and then I need 3 that are 3.5 by 3. Okay. Now, let's see. We have to decide how we want to decorate these. I'm just reaching over here to grab all my pieces, and I don't need this towel right now. And I am leaning to using this and that purple here with a border and maybe a chipboard or something. Okay, so how big do we need it to be? It needs to be 6. I'm looking to see how these look like they're the same, just about. All right, so if it's 6 inches wide, I need this to be, and that's actually a hair less than 6. It's about 5 3/4, 5 5/8. Let's call it 5 3/4 by 8. Okay, so 5 3/4 by 8. This is primarily why I bought extra sheets, because I didn't have any large sheets to do something like this. All right, so if we put that one, and I kind of like the elephants with that, I'll put the elephants there. Okay, so these need to be 5 3/4 also. Okay, all right, so that's going to be for that one. Now let me cut the other one. Okay. trying to decide if I want to ink that. Just going to ink it a tiny bit. The inside pieces. So these need to be 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. So that will go to the inside, like that, with our white photo mats. That'll be nice. Okay. Okay, so those will be on the inside, and those don't need to be inked. And that will be the outside of that one. And then this is going to be outside of this one. And then I will use this lighter piece that I bought. So here's the insides of this one. And now the other thing that I want to do is round these corners. So let me get some of these out of the way here. And let's grab my corner chopper. I think, even though I used 1/4 inch everywhere else, I think I'm going to use a 1/2 inch on these. Okay, so just fold them in half, put both pieces in the corner, and chop. Okay, and same here. I do have a piece in there. Whoops. Well, fortunately, those did need to be chopped, so I did 4 at once on that. Let's do the other side. You know what? Let me think. Okay, so that one's going to go there. So this corner needs to be done. And then this one is this corner. This paper is smooth on the back and textured on the front. That's why these are not reversible. So I had to make sure I chomped the right corners. All right, and then this one, the bottom does not need to be rounded because it's going to be covered, but the top is not, so it needs to be rounded. And so let me re-ink that little corner. And then this piece is going here, so this bottom corner needs to be done. Okay, so there's that. And now we need to go to this side. There we go. Okay, so let's get all this glued down. Put a sticker or something there. And I'm wondering if we should round the corners of these mats. I feel like we should. Just about at the end of this bottle of glue as well. I have a spare, but I want to use as much, I want to use it all up before I open that one. Okay. That's good. keep trying to rub that spot. Sure these are lined up pretty well with each other. Okay, there's that. And then we're going to do these three. And I think we're going to do these two like this, and this one here like that. So I'm going to start with this top one, which can be fully glued down. Whoops, and that one, okay, there we go. All right, so there's that one. And then the second one is gonna overlap it, about like so. So I really don't want any glue on this upper corner, so I'm just gonna put my fingers there. Here. Make sure we put it down correctly. Oh, I got glue on the base. Let's get that wiped up. So there's that one. Right. And then once pictures are down, if you want, you could always glue that down. And then we're going to do the same with this one. And we're going to leave no glue in that corner. There's that. And let's see, what do we have here? We have this one that says fabulous. And let's see, I think this one's a little large. About, let's see, I don't want to put chipboard because I don't want anything that dimensional. I kind of think fabulous. Probably should have put a little glue on the back of that, but that's all right. I'm not planning on giving or selling this album, so if it comes up, I'll glue it at that point. Okay. And I have some small stickers. Some of these little flower ones, or the peacocks, might look pretty. Let's wait and see on this one. Let's do the other one, and then we'll decide, because we still have the covers too. You know, something here. I'm thinking chipboard here, though. Let's see. I might as well do it while I've got it out. I was thinking this one on here, which I think I'm just going to go for it because I like it. Let's get it out. Now, when you take your chipboards out of their base, hang on. Take them out. They have these little rough knobs. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get some white. But can you see that sort of roughness? And I just use my, move this so I don't do it on top of it. I just use my nail file, and I always keep a couple in my toolkit. and just knock those back. You could use a little sanding block if you've got one. I just find a nail file to be convenient. Does the job, and I always have a couple around. Okay. Now, thinking near the top, like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. I don't have something similar for the other one, but we'll figure that out when we get to it. Okay. And we need to make sure we get this right side up. It is directional. Okay, I think that's good. I did not bother darkening the edges. You could if you wanted. I think that looks good. I like that. All right, let's set that one aside. Let's work on this one. Okay, go. There we go. Is that straight? Oops, that's a little crooked. Oh well, it is what it is. Now, what have I got for chipboards here? Well, we put that inside, so we can't put that on the outside because that's the sticker we used here. So that one's out. So it's going to have to be either beautiful or color your world, and I'm leaning towards color your world. If I can get it out. There we go. That there, and then here we go. I'm thinking maybe we'll put a little jewel or something where those two holes are. Okay. Let's see, I want it too high. Centered fairly well. That looks pretty good. Yep. And let's see. Okay. Let's go for a pair of tweezers. Okay, so I think these very little ones are going to be too small. Let's look at these. Oh yeah, those will be good. Because I have tweezers in my hand and I'm using. It's already trying to stick. Okay. All right, so we need two of those. Okay. And let me get some glue. I am going to use Fabri-Tac to hold those down. Just gonna put the dollop, whoops, right inside that. And let's grab these. I really need a different pair of tweezers for this. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna try to use my finger because the tweezers are not working. There we go. Get that centered. Okay, that's good. All right, there's that. Now, okay, let's see. These two, and I'm wondering if what I'm going to do, I think, because I've got those jewels there, I'm going to use some glossy accents, and I'm just going to glue down in each of these corners one of these very small ones, just so that the two are, you know, have something in common. Like I don't want jewels on one and not on the other. Now, okay, I think I'm going to put them in like this. So, do we want to try some of these liquid pearls? Put some gold dots. I don't want to embark on something that I'm going to end up not liking. Now this I think I might like better, but maybe not so many of them. Maybe just the centers of, let's see, white. I'm thinking, let's put those aside, thinking just kind of like those. So what I'm thinking is just these ones. See how this forms a cross and there's a flower? Maybe just in the center of those. Why not? Let's do it. Okay, so I think I'm going to avoid the ones right along the edge. We'll go back and see if we want to do those. Trying to make them not too big. All right, so here's my question. I think I need to put it on these ones that are in between. Not all of them, just these little ones. Okay, so this has got to dry for several hours, so we shall set that aside. I like that a lot. Now, do we need to do anything similar on this one? I don't really think we do. I could put just a row along here, just so there's some here as well. Okay, yeah, let's do that. I just don't want to have something on one and not on the other. And what we're going to do, because I'm going to put a ruler here. I'm still going to be eyeballing, but let's see how far apart. Every 1/4 inch, I think. All right, well, they're not all the same size. I wonder, ooh, I just stuck my hand in one. Oh my goodness. All right, well, I definitely botched that badly. Okay. wasn't paying attention, and I stuck my hand right on these 3 right here. Okay, well, you know what? We could put a sticker or something there if we need to. Okay, let's set that aside. You know what? That's fine. It's okay. All right, I'm just gonna put these off camera here in a spot. Okay, so now while those dry, let me just, All right, just move these out of the way. I'm not gonna use them, so we're just gonna throw them out. All right, now the other thing that we need to make, move that, is, let me bring the book over so you can see. Gentle because I don't have my towel. Now let's see. All right, so we need, okay, this here. Let me just grab something from here. So this is a deep pocket, okay? Let me put that back. And then this up here is a deep pocket, and then we have the same over here. We have the deep pocket. You know, this is a deep pocket, and then inside here, I thought I had another one. I guess I don't. So I just have, so I have this long piece here, this long section of this pocket. So I have 3 spaces, or 4 spaces rather, where we need kind of a long tag. So we need to make 4 long tags. All right, let's get our measurements. I'm just going to close this up because they're all going to be, we'll measure them all off that one. And then, oh, I wasn't paying attention when I tied that. And the other thing I want to check, because I can't remember, is how deep this is. So it does go all the way down. Okay. So we need 4 tags that are, whoops, that was one of my tweezers that just went onto the ground. Okay, not gonna worry about it. All right, so we need 4 tags or photo mats or something that are 9 inches long, give or take, by 4.5 inches wide. So we need 4 pieces, 9 by 4.5 from a black cardstock. All right, so let's go ahead and cut those. 4 pieces, 9 by 4.5. Okay, so here we go, 9 by 4.5. And I think what I want to do with these, if you remember, this is the piece we cut out from our arch template, and I want to use this to cut the top of the arches, the top of the tags. All right, and I'm just eyeballing the center. You can and probably should measure, but I am just going to eyeball it. I'm just going to do the one, and then I'll use this one to trace the others. And if you've got the long Graphic45 tags, those would work, but I don't have any. I thought I did. I thought I had some of the black ones. I forgot I used them in a project. Okay. That's good. Okay. Now, if you're iffy about that point, you could blunt it a little bit. I'm just gonna go with it. All right, so then we're just gonna use this as our template for the other 3. And we've got these little guys, which we might be able to use. I think we can use. Yeah, maybe something like that to give a journaling spot. that one would have to go like that, I think. Let's see, I have this piece, which is actually just about the right size. What's on the back of this? The peacocks, which I've not really used too much anywhere much because I didn't care for them that much. But it would work here because they're mostly hidden anyway. I'm just thinking if we did that, this writing is kind of distracting. So suppose we did that with this, and then something at the top. Don't care for that. Oops, I turned off one of my lights. There we go. Let's see, we have the elephants. Are they too distracting? Or what's on the back of the elephants? The orange, which I love, but it's definitely distracting. Let's see, we have that, which I like, and we have this, which is nice. If I did this, I would have to do something between them, I think. Of course, if I do that, I need to make sure I do it right side up. Kind of like that, even if it is a little hard to see. Okay, I think we'll do something like this, and then we may do some further embellishing, but at the very least we know this piece is going here, so let's put it down. Okay, so there's that. Then this piece is going to go there, so let me cut this piece the right width first, and then we'll worry about the arch. So the width is 4 and a hair over 1/8, so like not quite 4 3/16. Good. Okay, so let's do this. Whoops. That's gonna go like that. Okay. It bumps up against that edge, so it's staying where it needs to be. And then we're going to draw the exact outline. However, I want a little bit of a reveal, so I'm just gonna hand eyeball this. You could use a ruler or something to make sure that you're about 1/8 inch in, but I am just gonna do it this way. And I'm okay with it looking a little, hand cut, because it's a handmade book. It's okay. Okay. Let's see, I think I need to trim this side a little bit. How's that? That is better. I like that. Okay, that works. Okay, I'm just gonna put that there. Okay, there. Now we have, let's go back over here. We have some border stickers, but this one down here. And we also have this one that we used previously. I'm thinking that I want to use this one down here. And if I do, I need to cut it right about at that A. And if you want to, go ahead and put some glue on the back of your stickers. Probably should, but I didn't. And I do have, let's see if we want. Do we want to put this edge also? Why not? Okay, so there's that. And now we have got, I'm not even sure those are the two I want to use. I'm just wondering if this purple one would be a better choice. And do it like that. Or do we want to go this way? Nope, I like it like that. And like that. I like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and ink these. There. And then we can put this one here. But this one, I think I'm only going to glue like the bottom and make this like maybe here and here, and make this a tuck spot. Maybe a little bit more. So now this is a journaling spot and a tuck spot. All right. Then, do we want to add any other stickers? I don't have too many. Oops. Well, did not realize that was two parts, but okay. That there, just to add a little bit of color. And we definitely want to punch a hole there and put a grommet. See about the grommets here. I want a light colored one. Got some coppery colored ones, that would work. Let's see. Ooh. Just threw them all over the place. Okay, there's that one. And that one. Okay, so there's 4 of those. Let's see. kind of want this in a fair distance. Not that far. Hang on. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Look at, oh gosh, that's not centered at all. That's terrible. Okay, well, it is what it is. I'll do better on the next one. Okay, it's not so bad once you get the grommet in. Okay, so there's one. Okay, let me do the other three, and I will be back. Yes, here's our book. Brought my little towel over. And, all right, so let's open this up. Now, the piece that goes here is still drying. I'll go check on it in a minute, but I don't think it's been 2 hours. Okay, so we have one that goes here, and I think I kind of want to use, let's see, which one? Maybe this one. Okay, so that one's going to go there. Hitting something. Let's go there. Okay, so that one's going to go there. And then this one, kind of like the idea of introducing the orange into this section because there isn't any otherwise. So we'll use that one. And our little, and that nice soft ribbon will work well in there. Okay, and then the other one we have is for these two flaps. Okay, so we have this one. This one's fine. And then this one, oh wait, this has purple. Wait a minute. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Let's see, I think this one. This might do better with the, there. Hang on, let's try this. Oh, you know, I don't have anything on the insides of those. Oops, did I make these too tall? Yeah, they should be all right. They're just, right, I think it's just running into the, there we go. And this one, no. Can't remember what I had where. I had one white one and one fold in each one. Okay, so that would have gone there. That will come down, and then this will help hold that down. Okay, so that goes there. And then this will go here. And again, that'll come down, but I feel like I need to mat those. So let me cut this one first. Okay, so that is, I don't know if you can see. Again, 5 5/8 wide by 4 3/4 tall. And I just need to round the top. Okay, there's that one. Okay, and then this one, where did I say this one needs to be? 5 1/2 wide by 5 3/4 tall. Let's see, this straight on the top or straight on the bottom, but not both. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's put back. There we go. Oops. I thought there was a tuck spot there. Okay. Okay, there we go. That and that. Okay, so there's that. And then we have the same on this side. Let's get these out. Okay, there we go. All right, now let me get all these again out of the way. I think we're done. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're gonna open. I didn't put anything here, and I don't think I'm going to. I kind of like it like that. This is so huge. I don't know how much of it you can actually see in the camera. And all right, let me, before we review, let me go and check on those inserts. Okay. And as you can see, I didn't do a very good job on this one, but it'll be fine. All right, so this one, oh, well, you know what? I guess I'll do it. I just didn't realize I had purple against purple here. But that's gonna go there. All right. That's, okay, so that's gonna go there. Let's lift this up. Like that. All right. And this one is going to go back here. There we go, like that. All right, so here's what we've got. The inside cover has all these inserts and our folio that we made. Then we have the pieces that we just matted with our tags. And then we have on the back side, just pull that up, we have our waterfall. And I have not done any mats here. And that's all for photos. Then on the back side of this one, what am I hitting? I'm hitting something. Hang on. Oh, okay. Let's see if you can see. Let me slide it over. I hope you can see. There's our other waterfall. And then this opens this way. Again, this is for photos. Okay, this one goes there, this one goes here. Gets tied. Oh, you know what I just remembered? What on earth did I do with them? Hang on. Tamara sent me some of this bright colored seam binding. Here it is. I forgot all about it in my design team package. So I may swap out the ones I used for some of these, because you could definitely use these. Like this green is awesome. And this purple. So on these big tags, you know, use some of that you can get it. You can get this at Country Craft Creations. I just completely forgot I had it. Okay. So here we have this tall tag, and these are all pockets down the front. When you open it, this flips open, and you have another tall tag, and there's a space for a shorter tag here. And then in the back, you have another photo folio and some cards here. And I feel like we could put something on that pocket. You think we should? Maybe a sticker? You know what, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna call this done. All right, well, I hope that you've enjoyed this project. It's a little different. It's certainly very, very bright, a little more complicated than some others that we've done with the arch. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can get all the supplies for this at Country Craft Creations, including this beautiful seam binding. And the only things, I used a few things for my stash, the little jewels and the beads, but you've probably got similar things in your stash too. So thank you so much for watching. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Just click the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.